Hiya and good morning from our sunny but cold talking. Today I'd like to just talk about the report that's been published yesterday about the treatment of people with dementia inside the hospitals within the UK. For all my friends who live overseas, it was a report that was published all over the TV and all over the media yesterday within the UK, highlighting the lack of services for people with dementia and the way they're treated in hospitals. Unfortunately, from this, there's been an outcry, not only over the internet but also in media, about the way that people are being treated with dementia by nurses. I would just like to say at this stage that I not only have personal friends who train people in dementia awareness and in dementia care, but I also know a lot of people out there and a lot of nurses out there that want to be trained in dementia care, and they don't. There's good and bad in everybody. In every walk of life, there's good and bad, and I just don't think that the nurses and the hospital staff, all of them, should be tied by the same brush, because at the end of the day, these nurses in the general hospitals and on the general wards only get, if they're lucky, half a day's training in dementia care. Now, let me put that into perspective. If you was going to work as a physiotherapist, or if you wanted to learn about injections or surgery, would you get only half a day's training? No. Would you get only half a day's training to operate on somebody's eye or mend somebody's broken leg? No, you wouldn't. So what's the difference? Because people are trying to treat people with broken minds. And why do they only get half a day's training? Because that's all that they're given by the government, and that's all that's deemed. These nurses that work so hard in our hospital and these hospital staff have a duty of care. I don't think for 1 minute that they're happy about this. And I honestly believe that they would love to have the training so they could take care more and take better care of people who come in with dementia. You will get the odd few rotten apples in a barrel. That happens in every environment and in every trade. But I just thought I'd make a little point of saying it's not always the nurses' fault or the hospital staff. We must lay this firmly at the government's door. As a person with dementia, and I bet many of you out there say the same thing, this report is not news. It's not. It's not something new. We've all known about this, for years. Hey, you guys out there, you government guys, don't be so shocked. We've known this for years. Where have you been all this time? But reports like this help. It's sad that they have to be reported. It shouldn't come as that shocking to most people, because we do have a lack of care with our elderly people and our elderly citizens in this country. And I say that I'm ashamed to say that. But when it comes to dementia, because of a lack of understanding, because of a lack of training, and because of a lack of funding, this is the reason why they're not getting the care that they should have. This report is damning without any shadow of a doubt, and it should be. But if there's one little spark of hope, I would like to say to you, all you guys out there, you've been a part of this report. You've helped to get this report out. Why? I can hear you ask, what have I done? People who do these reports take months and months to get these together, to collate it, get all the evidence, work it all out, and then eventually publish it. All this takes time, and all this takes money. And the money comes from funding. And the funding comes from you guys. So today, instead of feeling really down about this report and feeling really negative, why don't you just give yourself a slap on the back? Why don't you just say, I was part of that report? Because you were. Every penny you put in to the Alzheimer's tins, Dementia Care tins, Dementia Awareness Day tins, I'm happy to say, all of that goes towards these kind of things. Every time you have a bring and buy sale for dementia, every time you have a sponsored run, every time you have a sponsored silence, Doesn't happen very often in our house. But you've contributed to this report, you yourself, and you wonderful people out there have brought this to the forefront. And it was over every news item today. It was in every newspaper and will continue to be so for the next few days and longer, hopefully, because of you, because of your generosity. And I, as a dementia sufferer, or as somebody with dementia, some people don't like me saying dementia sufferer, but we'll talk about that one maybe later. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that because of your donations and because of every single penny that you put in has helped fund this report and helped pay for people to go out there and investigate things so this report's been published. And I am so grateful for that. And I know that many people with dementia are also so grateful for that. As a person who has it, do I worry about hospital care? Do I worry about every time I open the newspaper and I see that somebody's died because of lack of care? Of course I do. I don't think for 1 minute Elaine would allow that to happen after her 30 years of experience working in care. But I'm lucky, and I count my blessings every day that I'm lucky. But there's a lot of people out there, and I know there's more than 1,000 stories you could all tell me of how your parents, your mum, your dad, your brothers, your sisters have all been treated badly when they've been affected by this awful disease, dementia. Well, take heart, friends, and take hope. Because of this report, because of your donations, because we're keeping it in the public eye, the government has said now that they are going to put it on a high priority list. But it's up to you, me, and everybody else in this country to keep the pressure up and to make sure they do. I do wonder about my future. I do worry about my future. I sometimes start my sentences by saying, I have dementia, it's terminal, I am dying. And that's the truth. But the truth is, I also have a future. I also believe that there's a cure around the corner. And I also believe that one day, dementia will just be as spoken about, just as we talk about the common cold. We talk about the flu, we talk about the weather. And one day there'll be no stigma. And when that day comes, hopefully I will still be here to say to each and every one of you, thank you. Thank you, because what you've done has made such a difference. And what you've done up to now with having this report and funding this report has made such a difference. Don't forget the TV advertisement that we're having at the moment, or the radio advertisement. That's never been done before, but that has come from funding. You have paid for that. And we are so grateful. People who have this awful, terrible disease are so grateful. So give the nurses a break, and have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And as always, I'm always happy to talk. Please use this video in whichever way you'd like to, for training or anything like that. You have my full and utmost permission and pleasure to do so. I hope I've helped, and I hope I've put a bit of a slant on it from somebody who actually has dementia. Let's take something positive out of this report and not negative. Bye bye for now. Bye.